a brush with death when I tried to commit suicide. That's when I really realized, this is really serious. I'm unhappy. I don't like me. I don't like myself. I hate myself. I don't like where I am right now. I really just don't want to be here anymore. It was a cry for help, but I think I took it a step further. It didn't matter what people said about me, and it didn't matter what people thought about me. What mattered was what I thought about myself.
And we are here with Cassandra McKibben. Actually, Cassandra has been a friend of mine for a while. And she was the one that told me that she and her friends, co-authors, wrote this wonderful book, From Pain to Poetry. But then you told me that this had to do with people carrying bags, and more specifically, women carrying bags, the bag lady. And I mean, I've known you for a little bit. You don't seem like you have any bags. I immediately became interested in what kind of bags do you have? So Cassandra, tell me about some of the bags that you carry.
One bag that I do carry is can identify with is the body bag. And that is, I had a brush with death when I tried to commit suicide when I was in college. And but that bag I had been carrying pretty much when I was in middle school, high school. And I guess it just kind of really got to the point of actual trying to commit suicide in my college age. When I was in the hospital, stomach pumped and everything, near death experience. And at that point, that's when I really realized, this is really serious.
There are over 1 million attempts of suicide in the U.S. every year, and 40,000 are successful. Women are 3 times more likely than men to commit suicide. This is not unique to you, but it's always very interesting as to what gets the person to that point. It's a journey to that point. It doesn't happen overnight. So how did you get there?
I think it was years of being not happy with myself. It started out as a cry for help, or a way for me to let people know that I'm unhappy. I don't like me. I don't like myself. I hate myself. I don't like where I am right now. And to the point, I guess in college, it just got to the point I really just don't want to be here anymore. And I think that when most people are going through that feeling of wanting to commit suicide or die, it's more like, for me, it was more like I just want to get off of Earth while it's still spinning and just chill for a minute. I just want to walk away from everything. And unfortunately for some people, it's too late. And in my case, it could have been too late. And I thank God that I was able to, I am delivered from that bag. And that is one thing I am delivered from, and I am able to tell my story to other women.
How did that journey of personal, decimation, how did that journey start?
I think it began with, one, not liking what I saw in the mirror. I never thought I was pretty. And I always seemed to have this meekness about me, or timidness about me, and I think people took that as, she's a pushover. So I always get picked on when I was in school. I never would express myself or fight back or anything like that. I would hold it all in. So then I started having a lot of hatred, not for them, but for myself, because I always thought something was wrong with me. And it just kind of carried on as the years went on. And at some point when we are becoming teenagers and we start to shape we're shaping ourselves, and we become somebody, we fit in. I didn't have any really where to fit in. So
Was it school bullying?
Oh, bullying, yes.
And then what about the home? Was there not someone at home where you can actually come home to and say, this is what's taking place in school? Or were you bullied? Honestly speaking,
honestly speaking, my home was fine. We hugged, all of that now. But growing up, we didn't do that.
So you were being torn down in school, and then there was no healing at home, not purposely.
Right.
But it didn't happen, so it began to fester and grow, and so the bullying kind of shaped self-perception for you, and so there was no one to dismantle that, and so you kind of carried that
for
bag
a long time. Yes.
For a long time. Yes. And then when you got into college, What was the breaking point? What was the straw that broke the camel's back?
I think at that point, I was hiding behind a lot of stuff. I was comfortable in my skin, but I was hiding behind one of my other bags, which was the brown bag. I drank a lot when I was in college. And when I drank, I was fun to be around, partier and all of that. So I was fun, you know. I was hiding behind a lot of stuff. My sorority, you know, I really wasn't being me. And I think something reverted me back to school, to my days in school. One of my sorority sisters actually threatened me, said I was doing something with her boyfriend or something like that, which was not true. And it made me feel like that little girl I was back then. And I was going through a lot of other stuff too. And that kind of just you know, put the nail in the coffin when she did that. And I just kind of lost it. I'm like, you know, I'm tired of living. I don't want to go through this again. So I don't think at that point I wasn't really truly happy with who was walking around on campus, who people saw. Inside I really was not truly happy with myself, you know. And I think that that's kind of what took me there. But again, it was a cry for help. But I think I took it a step further.
Isn't it true that it's not a burden at that point? You don't think, oh my God, I'm about to kill myself. You actually think, okay, this is the answer. It's a sense of relief. It's almost a peaceful decision that when you're ready to commit suicide, you're at a place of acceptance because you're ready to take your life.
Yeah, and it's weird, but there are some times that I would feel too as, you know, getting back at those that hurt me, which is kind of crazy because you're gone. But sometimes when people do think about suicide, they're wanting to hurt those people that hurt. I'm gonna show you, you know, I'm gonna show y'all talking about me, you know, and that's another reason why people do it.
No, you're helping a lot of people right now that are looking at this, and so what was it that changed it for you? That you saw, no, wait a minute, there is value in this life, in this person, in this purpose. When did that happen? When did that light come on for you?
I think it's when I woke up in the hospital and I saw my mom and dad there. The first thing I realized when I got over my pain and was able to really talk about what I went through, I had to first give God glory and give Him the honor for saving my life. And I saw that as a second chance. Because since then I've had moments. I've had moments in my adult life where I've thought about it or have just been really depressed. But when I started realizing that it didn't matter what people said about me, and it didn't matter what people thought about me, what mattered was what I thought about myself. And I started practicing self-love towards me. And I realized that...
How do you practice self-love? What is that?
I mean, it's almost like, not to say you're puffed up, it's just that you have to know that, but first you have to know who you are and you have to know whose you are.
Give me some real examples, like
real
self-love. Do you take yourself out to dinner?
Oh, yeah.
Do you take yourself out to a movie? Do you hang around people?
Start taking care of yourself. I started taking care of myself. I started telling myself that I was pretty. I didn't have to have the validation of a man or my parents or anybody. I had to look in the mirror and tell myself I was pretty. Started taking care of myself, you know, looking good, feeling good, doing things and enjoying life. Now I really enjoy life as though I'm going to die tomorrow. And that's what that's kind of what I
Well, you know what?
do.
Whatever you've done for yourself, I'm highly recommending that people read this book and all the poems that are in here. But if this can help anybody or save anybody's life, if it's just one poem, then it's worth it. Mm-hmm. And this could be a part of somebody's journey, right?
Oh yes.
And so I'm grateful that you've decided to share your life and allow your life to be a roadmap to healing, and it didn't come from a perfect place. Mm-hmm. It came from a place of pain. Mm-hmm. First of all, I want to thank you for being my friend, and then because the bags that you speak of, certainly I'm not aware of them. I didn't see them, so you've done a great job for personal healing. Mm-hmm. But secondly, thank you for the book.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
am a die-hard believer in the fairy tale. You know, I was married for 10 years, and I thought I had that, but turned out I didn't. Infidelity dismantled it. Emails, phone calls, friendships.
That didn't make sense.
Right. Maybe I really was afraid to get to that happily ever after because of the work it takes to get there. I realized that, maybe my self-esteem isn't as high as I thought it was.